All right, we're here at segment 6, and we're going to be talking about the annual fees and how they differ from a lot of different companies. So, Tim, where do we start on fees?
Well, fees. First one, there's a setup fee for setting up the 401k document, getting all the documents and everything, and walking through the transfer process. But we charge $1,350 for that, $1,350. So that's a one-time setup fee. Then we have an annual license fee for the use of the 401k documents, and we update those as required and everything, and that's a whopping $175 a year. After that, we don't charge any further fees. We don't hit people with wire fees. We don't hit people with junk fees. That's the whole fees that we charge. However, whenever we set up a bank account for people, whenever they set up a brokerage account for their 401k plan, that bank or brokerage account, they might charge their fees of $5 a month or what have you, but those aren't our fees, and typically you can find a bank that's going to do this for free checking so long as you hold enough money inside there, which most people have. So that's the complete fee structure. It's pretty straightforward. Okay,
so this is one of the things that really drew my attention, because if you walk around town and you tell people like you're only paying $175 annual fee, flat, period, end of story, a lot of people don't believe me, because they're set up with custodian companies that are charging them for every time they turn around. And I wrote some of these down. One guy said they had an evaluation fee that was in the thousands every year, so they could evaluate what his IRA was worth, because he had to pay a percentage of the value of the IRA, of the 401k retirement plan.
Yeah.
As he got bigger and bigger and bigger, his fees got more and more exorbitant all the time. And when he told me what he was paying, I was thinking, 2, 3, 4 years of that, I got another house in my account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the funny thing was they were charging this huge evaluation fee. And of course, they're going to want to evaluate him really high as they can, because they're getting a percentage of whatever the value is. So it's all kind of working against you in the first place. Then there was things like, I had one guy says, if he even calls for a payoff, it's $75 that he has to pay to get a payoff sent. Another thing was wire transfers. I mean, there's a lot of ways to nickel and dime a person. The obvious ones were wire transfers, $50. Well, when you look up at the end of the year, and if you're a serious investor doing some serious transactions, it can be $1,000 to tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what size you are, right? So, Freedom First 401k, you're talking about $175.
$175 annual license fee.
Oh, the one guy had a $250 per transaction. So every time he wanted to buy a house, or every time he did something, it was $250. Well, the guy bought 40 houses one time, or did 40 transactions, notes, or whatever it was. I mean, 40 times $250 compared to $175 flat, no questions asked. Just that's what it is.
That's what it is.
So,
although I'm starting to think we should raise prices after everything you just said.
I don't think so, because you could win on volume, though, and that's obviously what you do. Is you're doing volume, and taking care of people and making it reasonable for people. That's a really no-brainer. I think. Is there anything else to add to this?
That's pretty much it.
All right. The next segment is segment number 7 about legal protections.